We make way for Jessica Mendoza, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball analyst. She's appearing on Get Up with Mike Greenberg this week throughout the World Series, and Jessica joins us. Jessica, good morning. How are you?
Dan, I'm doing awesome, to be honest. I mean, I'm rolling on like 3 hours of sleep because that's how it works when you get to play games and early morning hours. But last night was a game, and I've been waiting for what we got in Game 6 this entire series.
Was that good for baseball last night?
Oh, it was needed. I mean, we've seen like all-time low ratings for the first 4 games, and just really the games being over early on. Even if you felt like there could be a comeback, there wasn't. They just haven't been the excitement that really we've seen from baseball throughout the season, especially representing the American League and the National League. The pitching matchups that we've hyped up and talked so much about. So I guess to see what we saw last night, and honestly to even have some controversy, which I think always seems to help kind of trigger even the non-baseball fan to kind of dive into the sport.
All right. The controversy in the 7th inning with Trey Turner, what did you see?
I saw, first of all, a rule that is completely vague, and it bothers me so much that it's left up to the discretion of the umpires in a situation, to me, that it's ridiculous. Like, I watched that play over and over again. If you even go back to Trey Turner's first single, which was another swinging bunt that Alex Bregman had to throw off of his front foot, look at the same path that Turner took. The difference is Bregman's throw was right on the money. So if Brad Peacock doesn't throw the ball at Trey Turner in that situation, do they call him out? Heck no.
Yeah.
And that's where the rule needs to change. So I don't totally blame the umpires. I blame the rule, because the rule allows, technically, by the standard, that Trey Turner was supposed to be in foul territory in that lane. But let's be real. You're going point A to point B as a right-handed batter from being in fair territory to fair territory. Why the heck would you ever run in that lane? I get a little fired up.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I would have had a no call on this, because the throw is what created the controversy. Even if Turner is running in foul territory, I still think he's going to come in contact with Gurriel's glove. And so I don't know. I know that they want to call it by the letter of the rule, like the Tuck rule with Tom Brady. We get caught up in all of this. But, to me, this shouldn't have been called. I think it was a bad throw, and therefore you created a controversy that wasn't there.
It's like if you briefly, get a shooter in basketball, like by the tip of your fingernail, it happens to touch their skin, and you call it a foul. I mean, yes, by the rule, is he supposed to completely be into that lane? But when you actually look at the sport itself, like contact happens in basketball, guys are going to run towards the bag from the point of where they go just to get there as fast as they possibly can. And that's what happens when you have a bag in fair territory. You've got the box in fair territory, and then you're expecting runners to run in foul territory. It's the rule itself, and unfortunately, thank goodness, by the way, that did not end up the game. Because there was a moment, Dan, you're watching that game live, and it felt like eternity when the headsets were on and Davey's losing his mind and Trey Turner's yelling out at Joe Torre. It's like, is this how the season's going to end? Is this what we're going to talk about for the next, 5 years?
But you know what was lost in all of this is Steven Strasburg was a man again.
Oh. And when you think about, the attention that has gone to this series, the 4 pitchers, so it's Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, and then fourth, as far as attention, has been Steven Strasburg. And yet he has been number one for me. He sealed the deal for that last night in the way that he threw, especially in that 5th inning. And this is a story, a guy that, you think about him coming up and how much he was put on the pedestal of being literally like almost Bryce Harper-esque of the pitching world, not being able to pitch in 2012, getting shut down, the controversy of that. This story has been really impressive. And I look at that 5th inning with Jose Altuve up to bat. I felt like, to me, Dan, that was the series. Right there in one at bat. Steven Strasburg giving him a changeup and then back-to-back curveballs to get, in my opinion, the toughest hitter to swing and miss.
Yeah.
To swing and miss.
Yeah,
and
I
he
agree.
did it. And that was the best pitching I've ever seen him do in one at bat.
I agree with you because Altuve always puts the ball in play, and then you strike him out, and that was a huge moment. You have the 2 home runs, Bregman and Soto, and we're carrying the bat now down to first base here. Where do you stand on this?
I love it. And the only thing I don't love is that Alex Bregman felt forced to apologize after the game, and that's the criticism that he got in doing that. Anyone knows that Alex Bregman, that is his. I mean, he's the one that's flashing up the 4 fingers after a home run previously because he's saying you should have walked me. I mean, this is a guy that does not lack confidence, and you know what? That's who he is. Be you, and that's him. And I think maybe the handoff needs a little bit of work.
He wouldn't have been on a relay team with the baton there, Jessica.
No. But, Juan Soto after the game saying, I thought it was cool. I wanted to do it too. Like, this is where we're at with players right now. And this is who they are. And I absolutely love it because of it's them being themselves. And you know what, Dan? There's some kid. I've got 2 boys at home, some young girls, some young boy that's watching that going, okay, this is a sport I can be myself in. And I think that hasn't always been the case in baseball.
Yeah, I think you're in the minority, but I'm with you in the minority. I think baseball doesn't celebrate baseball as much as all the other sports. Football finally came back around and said, you guys want to have a little bit of fun in the end zone and with your cleats. Basketball, it's an individual sport. Baseball's sort of lost out on that, and maybe they're trying to make up for lost time. I'll leave you with this, Jessica. Is Scherzer good to go?
I think if anyone can battle through anything, I mean, I just have this image, right, Dan, of him pitching with a black eye this season, right? Remember when he had the bunt off of his face,
yeah,
right? And then he comes the next day, he can't even see out of his eye. And he finds a way to battle through that game. And I remember we had them the next week, and I remember talking to the team, and they just rallied around him. I don't think Scherzer's going to have his best stuff. I don't even know how long he's going to be able to go, but there's something about him throwing in this game. You couldn't have scripted it any better. This team would not have chosen to not have him in Game 5, but it's almost like this is what was supposed to be, right? You want Scherzer in 7, a series that's going Game 7 against Zach Greinke.
Oh, I think he's a badass. I love Scherzer. He's one of the few. Him and Cole, those are the 2 guys I would just pay to watch them pitch. I just love that they get the ball and they throw it. There's no nonsense there. They're bringing it right at you. And
how about him in the bullpen?
I know.
I know. You're pitching Game 7, and he's out there warming up just just pacing, too. Like, put me in. I'll pitch tonight. I'll pitch tomorrow. If that ain't Matt Scherzer, I don't know what is. He is fun to watch.
Hey, I hope you're doing well, and thanks for joining us, Jessica.
Yeah, Dan, I'm excited for tonight.
Jessica Mendoza, working for the mothership, ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, and appearing on Get Up with Mike Greenberg throughout the World Series.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.